Breaking news tonight out of East County, where crews are still on the scene of an explosive fire that damaged nearly half a dozen buildings and left one person hurt. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
And I'm Anna Laurel. That fire broke out off Las Cochas Road East. At last check, the fire's progress has been stopped at 5 acres and is 5% contained. Tonight, we have team coverage on this fire. Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis is standing by with a look at conditions in the area.
And both Richard Allen and Alex Cheney are live near the scene as crews work toward full containment. We begin with CBS 8's Richard Allen. Richard?
And Carlo and Anna, we can see right behind me one of the casualties of this fire, number 39 in the Monterey Mobile Home Park, completely destroyed by this fire. You can see, though, on either side, though, number 38 and number 40 were untouched. We understand this fire started just outside of the mobile home park, right on the street, right on Highway 8 outside. And from what neighbors are telling us, the wind carried embers from the fire, carrying those embers. Unfortunately, this house, this home here, was caught and went up in flames, and it took firefighters a good hour to extinguish this fire. In fact, firefighters just left a short while ago. You can still see smoke coming up, though, from the embers, from the ashes of this fire here. Now, we understand also that residents, neighbors here in this mobile home park, very tight-knit community, raced to help each other to make sure other homes did not go up. We spoke with one neighbor here who's lived here for 8 years. She explained how neighbors were helping neighbors to make sure no one else's home went up in flames. Take a listen.
What they did was take the hoses, wet down the fences, which were on fire, put out the fire on the fences, and also they went over that and made sure that the hillside was not, they put out the hot spots.
And even though there were mandatory evacuation orders ordered for this community, a lot of neighbors actually did not heed those orders. They remained behind, as you heard, staying behind to try to protect their property and protect the property of their neighbors. Unfortunately, this one, number 39, did not survive. We understand, though, that no one was injured. The man who owns this property here, he was at work at the time, but he was informed that his home was destroyed in this fire. Now, continuing our coverage, we have CBS 8's Alex Cheney, who is on the other side of the Monterey Mobile Home Park. Alex, what is it looking from your vantage point?
Terrible.
Yeah, that's right, Richard. Just a little bit on the other side of from where you are. So we can see a couple things from here. We can see this really wide valley that is now completely charred. We just saw a line of CAL FIRE firemen come through here. They had their pickaxes, they had their chainsaws, and it looks like they're going to start to take down some of this shrubbery and some of these dead trees around here to make sure that there's no other problems. You saw the one house that burned down. This is the other one as we pan over here. And as you can see, this one is going to be a complete loss as well. The fire went all the way through the back there that leads into the valley and also through much of the roof as well. I spoke to a woman earlier. She told me she's been living in this mobile home park for the last 10 years. She was at work today. She was at Petco Park when her children called her to let her know about the fire, and she raced home. Take a listen.
My kids called me and said, Mom, I think your park's on fire. It doesn't look so good. So yeah, we had lost a house over here, so I'm not sure about the rest, but thank you to my manager who let me go, and thank you to San Diego and Lakeside Fire Department. Man, you guys rock. What would we do without you?
And Lisa told me that another neighbor, Robert, is actually the one who came into this unit here, number 29, and helped the woman who was inside of the home get out of there very quickly. Unfortunately, he did, because as you can see, this home is a loss. Looks like the mop up is going to take at least a few more hours here, as we still got lots of hose out and lots of water dropping as well. Just a few of those hot spots to put out. But the good news here, the forward progress is stopped. The mood, for the most part, has dropped a little bit as we start to get around on this fire this afternoon. Back over to you.
All right, glad it stopped, but devastating for some families out there. Alex, stay with us for the latest updates on this fire. We'll have the latest information posted on CBS8.com. You can also follow us on social media or download our free CBS 8 app. And our coverage continues with Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis.
She joins us now with a look at the conditions in East County earlier and what it's like out there right now. Carlene.
Yeah, as the fellows made reference to earlier today, we did have some gustier winds and unfortunately unfortunately, that's what was pushing those embers around as they hop from tree to tree and unfortunately impacting for some people's homes. Now, we did have some dry conditions return in the forecast as we were getting away from that monsoonal moisture to kick off this week. That's why you saw a lack of clouds out there, but that also brought down our humidity values. So firefighters were fighting this in 90-degree temperatures, and that started around 11 in the morning and kept going all the way into the early evening. But now we're starting to see a difference. So 87 degrees, so temperatures starting to gradually slip as we go into tonight. Now, around that time that we did have that fire breaking out, we had some gusts in the areas that were into the teens. So some gusts that were picking up upwards of about 13 to 14 miles per hour. I think 14 miles per hour when I look back at the data over the last couple of hours, that is the peak. But 10 miles per hour right now, still with the dry conditions when it comes to humidity, but it's going to go up for the rest of tonight. So we'll go ahead and take a look at your complete forecast coming up. Carlo.
Thanks, Carlene. As always, you can find extended weather forecasts on CBS 8 Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.